The new Steam controller has a massive amount of customization options, so it can be pretty overwhelming to know exactly what to tweak to get the most out of it. So in this video, I'm gonna show you 5 settings you should tweak to get the most out of your Steam controller. Number 1, Gripsense Calibration. I see a lot of people not knowing what to do with the Gripsense, but I'm pretty sure this only happens because they haven't calibrated for their own hands. This is the default Gripsense settings. It's really not that responsive. You can see I'm opening and closing my hands, and Steam is missing like half of my inputs. Now look at the custom calibration that I made for my own hands. Much better, right? I love using the Gripsense as my gyro activation button. Not only it allows me to ratchet, but disabling gyro on menus, it's like so much easier, which saves me so much time. It's incredible. So here's how you can calibrate the Gripsense for your hands. Go to Settings on the Controller tab, click on Details, and open Calibration and Advanced Settings. On the Grip Sensors tab, decrease both sliders and then just gently grip the controller, just like you normally would. As you can see, the left grip isn't registering for me, so I'm going to increase the sensitivity until both sides lights up. Next up, I'm going to tweak the flick guard size. This dictates how much you have to open your hands to disable the input. So if I set this at the max value, after first activating it, I have to open my hands this much in order to stop sending the input. So what I will do is that I will just increase the slider until I can comfortably open and close my hands, like a reasonable amount, while making sure my normal hand movements, like moving my thumb from the face buttons to the analog stick to the trackpads, won't accidentally disable the input. And that's about it. It takes like 60 seconds and it makes the Gripsense feel incredibly more responsive. It's awesome. Speaking of responsiveness, don't sleep on the mouse region feature. One of the very first things I wanted to do with the trackpads was to use it for inventory management. But when I actually tried it, I was a bit disappointed because my sensitivity wasn't high enough for me to click and drag on things, and if I cranked up the sensitivity, it was just too hard to stop where I wanted. So instead of using the trackpad as a trackball, what if the edges of the trackpad could correspond exactly to the edges of the screen? And that's what mouse region does. So simply set the trackpad as a mouse region, click on the gear icon, then set the vertical scale to 56. And now, without even lifting my finger, I can reach any point of the screen with the trackpads. And you can use these exact same principles on other things as well, like a mouse region or emulators. Just add them as a non-Steam game and calibrate the region to your liking. Steam allows you to change the size, position, aspect ratio. It's just that they removed the option to actually see the region on screen, so you have to keep checking if you got it right by touching the edges of the trackpad. But after a bit of back and forth, it's flawless. Personally, 2 of my favorite ways of using this thing is on deadlock, so touching the right trackpads like the tab button on my keyboard so I can see like stats of the match and upgrade my abilities. And the other one is to play one of my favorite games of all time, which is Kid Icarus Uprising. Now this is great for controlling like 2D games and controlling the cursor and whatnot, but what about 3D games? That's where the Gyro Stability comes in. I love gyro aiming, but I have to admit, gyro can feel pretty shaky sometimes. Again, here are the default settings, and here are my settings. The absolute best setting that you should definitely tweak right now is the vertical sensitivity scale. Pressing buttons, pulling triggers, all of that naturally moves the controller up and down just a little bit. And this is more and more noticeable the higher your sensitivity. To fix this, no matter what sensitivity I'm using, I will always decrease the vertical sensitivity. I need to be able to comfortably look up and down and nothing more than that. Some other things that I do to improve stability is to increase the gyro speed dead zone just enough so really small movements are still being registered, but like the moment that they stop being registered is where I find my sweet spot. So that usually happens between 0.3 and 0.4. I can also increase the gyro precision speed. Lately I'm using like the default value, but if you feel like you're overshooting your shots, you can just crank the slider up. For me, however, I was overshooting like a bit too much, so I just decreased my overall sensitivity, which can also really help. I almost forgot, but you can drastically decrease the sensitivity when you hold down the triggers. Just enable the trigger press mouse dampening, choose which trigger will decrease the gyro sensitivity, and set how much you want to decrease it. This slider is a percentage, so I usually decrease my sensitivity by 50%. There's just one problem with all of this, and that is, right, I got this thing feeling pretty good on this game, but how do I make sure it's gonna feel the same on different games? And that's where the dots per 360 value comes in. Have you ever noticed that like sensitivity sliders don't really mean anything? 10 sensitivity and 15 sensitivity just means more or less sensitive in relation to the sensitivity you're using right now. But with gyro aiming, that really isn't the case. On the gyro page, when you see something like 1x, 1x means that doing 1 360 rotation of the controller will correspond to 1 360 rotation in-game. Obviously, no one should be doing 360s like that, so we often increase this value. So using something like 4x means that 1 full rotation of the controller equals to 4 full rotations in-game. You see, because the slider is tied to the physical, real-world movement, it actually means something. And that's how you can transfer your preferred settings across every game. But in order for this to work, you have to calibrate the dots per 360 value. And I see community layouts getting this wrong all the time because they just don't know how to do it. And I'm gonna show you, it's really simple. It takes like 30 seconds. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna enable gyro to mouse. You're gonna go to the site mousesensitivity.com. You're gonna change unities from centimeters to counts. Then you're gonna select the game you're playing. You're gonna type in the current in-game mouse sensitivity that you're using. Then you're gonna just scroll down, copy the 360 distance value, and paste that number right into the Steam dots per 360 value. Steam only reads like 2 digits after the decimal, so you can just ignore the rest of the numbers. And that's it. That's all there is to it. I know this sounds like a lot of math, but it literally takes like 30 seconds. And now you can preserve your muscle memory across every game. So your grips are calibrated, gyro is feeling rock solid, and your sensitivity is mathematically perfect. There's just one more thing that I want to share with you today, and that's trackpad aiming. Trackpad aiming is honestly really fun to use, but I did have to tweak some settings to make it feel right. The main problem is that by default, the right trackpad is configured as a joystick, and that's never going to feel good, I'm sorry. Joysticks have dead zones, acceleration curves, filters, and all of that needs to be compensated to make trackpads feel any good. So my advice is to always use trackpads as a mouse. If you tried before and you didn't like it, or you just want to start on the right foot, you just need to understand a few core concepts. And that's exactly why I made an entire video dedicated to all of the ins and outs of trackpad aiming. Click on the video on the screen right now and I see you over there. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to my Patreons, Dolby the Steam Controllers, Nuno Souza, Avocado, Mitchell, Shane Kelling, Carton Ivy, Roger Dogood, Christopher Fox, Dana Oath, Easy, Ars Poetic, and Oryx Guzella. Thank you so much for watching.